You have the music playing?
No, it's just us.
I just jump into the music myself, but that's just me. You do whatever you don't have to share it with us. Let John come back.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
Boss of me.
Oh, look, I don't have
perfect.
John's video.
I like how that worked out. That's actually, just keep it like that. I don't know if we probably can't hear him either on the stream. That's awesome. You are streaming this, dude.
Yep. All good.
All good? All set? We're done.
We're all ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
He wasn't streaming his screen.
Right.
So people weren't seeing the URL if that's what you're worried about.
Yeah, it was. All right.
Let them watch.
See how the secret sauce is made.
Don't let him.
Do not want to see how Tom makes any sort of sauce ever. We ready to go?
All right. Now we're ready.
You're listening to episode 289 of the critically acclaimed PHPUgly. I'm your host, Eric Van Johnson, and with me, running late as always, is John Congdon.
Not running late. I was being acquitted.
And Tom Rideout.
Acquitted of what?
I don't think that's really what happened, but it was supposed to be a Johnny Depp reference. It failed. It fell down. Just move past it.
Oh, we're supposed to just make light of this now.
That was hours ago. The internet's moved on.
I have no clue what really happened. I was at a luau, so I'm not able to pay attention to the news.
A luau. Okay. Good to know.
Hard knock life.
Didn't get my invite. That's understandable, I guess.
Do you have a kid that goes to Sundance Elementary School?
Okay, we're going to move on. Happy to be here. Been a busy week for me. Been a busy week for me.
Speaking of your kid, yes, it has been a busy week for you.
Yes. Just literally drove in from San Francisco about an hour ago. I am going to tell you, if you have never had the pleasure of driving in California, you are missing such an experience. You have no appreciation of gridlock until you've driven in, Southern California, really. But
LA specifically.
oh, LA is so bad. I try to avoid LA like the plague, but all of Southern California, San Diego is getting horrible as well.
Really?
Yeah, but all of Southern California is pretty crappy.
That's why I like working from home. I don't have to deal with that.
Okay, Mr. Privilege. Yeah, let's talk about that.
You work from home too, Eric.
I work where I needed. Where I'm needed is where I work, Tom, and where people will pay me. But yeah,
As long as people are still doing that, you're good.
I'm trying. It's not as easy as it used to be.
No, it's not. Running a business is so hard.
What bad week?
Eric doesn't even know the bad part, so I'm going to share that to talk with him after the show.
Oh, nice.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Fun news. This happened like 5:30 today. I'm like, son of a no.
You're killing me, Condon. You're killing me.
Trust me, the situation's killing me too.
You better put it in Slack. I'm not gonna be able to do this entire show like this. This is just unacceptable. God damn it. All right. So, yeah, I had a kid. All moved in up in San Fran. I like San Francisco. I mean, it's a dirty place. Lots of dirty things, but it's fun. I enjoy being up there. Good food. And kids are all in. I'm pretty sure if we had any savings, I'm pretty sure the wife spent it all. Like it's like you would think that we were leaving them on some deserted island where they had no access to food or oh man, it was just but I'm happy for them. It's
did you do the whole like you have to go to IKEA and buy like all the things they need for the apartment? Desks
a lot of purchases were made. I'll just leave it at that. And I had to listen on the way home of everything we forgot. And it's like, yeah, they live there. They can go buy the stuff themselves.
Don't they have a job out there?
No, they don't. That's the thing I don't get. No, they don't have a job there. Their job is in San Diego. So yeah, but I'm happy for them. It's going to be exciting. They're in Discord now. If everybody wants to,
good luck.
Eric's second born and Eric's Spanish speaking kids, congratulations. They are in our Discord right now.
Starting your life. I remember when I first moved out. It's a relief yet stressful.
Were you also 22?
No, I was 17.
Yeah,
I couldn't wait to get out, be on my own. But if I had Eric as a dad, I'm sure I'd want to stay as long as I could.
Eric, that's one down. How many left? Because you keep adding new children to your household.
Yeah, my other kid and their partner still lives with us. So I think we have that one locked down for a while.
So you went from having twins to only having 2 children in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
So, congratulations.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, they all pretty much hate us. So that's the great thing about being parents, being a mom and dad is it's like that. It's like that saying in Batman. It's like you live long enough to become the bad guy. Yeah, that's how it is with kids. You
I know.
Enough. Eventually, they'll appreciate you again. So.
It comes back full circle where they're like, we really appreciate what you did. By the way, we got you this wonderful assisted living facility. You're just going to
now please die, please.
Yeah. How much life insurance do you have?
Well, thanks to John a lot. I think he was involved in this whole scheme. But let's move on. It was a long drive, but yeah, I have a feeling
We're happy you made it for sure.
Yeah, more trips to San Francisco are in the future. Like I said, I don't have a problem with that. I really enjoyed up there. It probably been 10 years since I'd been up there, and I'm got to hit a couple of old drinking holes I used to go to. The Buena Vista being one of my favorite places to go to. They're the people who brought the Irish coffee to America, and they have great food. If you're ever in the San Francisco area, they're over there by Fisherman's Wharf. Hit up the Buena Vista and tell them I sent you. They'll charge you a little extra, but it'd be worth it, I promise.
Yeah. It's like the opposite of the Amazon referral code. Is every customer you send in takes money off of your tab that you've got running there.
Exactly. Yeah. They pick up a little bit of my bill, and I appreciate it. Yeah, that would actually be a great idea to have a referral program like that. Yeah.
That would be the kind of idea only an absolute alcoholic could come up with. You're welcome.
So what have you guys been doing since I've been gone?
Flying.
Well, I had a week
Excuse
off.
me. Sinking. You had a week off last week when we talked. What are you talking about?
Well, I still had another 2, 3, 4 days left at that point.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 2-3 weeks. I don't know.
No. Wait, what do you mean sinking, John? Because that sounds like somebody should be taking away your P2 license now.
No. It's so I finally flew the mountain by my house. I flew it again yesterday. I've got video I'll share. I just got it tonight, so I'll share it with you guys in a little bit. But the pilots that are really good know how to find the rising air and the first guy to launch got up to almost 2,000 feet and booked it across the road, went over the ballpark, which I don't think we're supposed to fly over there, but he doesn't care. He was trying to do a triangle.
Well, yeah, how the cop's going to catch you?
Yeah, and well, you got to land at some point. Meanwhile, I launch and don't go up at all. It's like, okay. Just my first flight, I got 23 feet above takeoff. My second flight, I got 3 feet above takeoff.
I mean,
so it's like
those are positive gains. That's
but it's basically just a flight down. So I hiked 20 minutes up the hill for a 5-minute flight down and just kind of hanging out there. So basically what I'm saying is I have a lot to learn still.
Yeah, but you didn't have to wait an hour in line like at Disneyland. It's just a 20-minute walk.
There you go.
See,
Good
you've
point.
you've already
I like your
saved
positive
time and money.
attitude.
Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from today. I apologize to our listeners.
Are you feeling all right? A little under the weather.
I'm feeling all right. Had a nice long break. Really feel good going back to work on Tuesday. We had Monday off here in the States. So I forgot about that completely as part of my vacation plans. So that was a nice little surprise at the end of the weekend.
So you went back feeling re-energized after a vacation?
Yeah, I did. I felt great. And then dove right back into Laravel 9 upgrade and instantly felt awful again.
Why?
What's taking so long? What's hard about it?
There's just these little
tell you what's taking
things.
so long. Tom's doing it.
I wasn't the one doing it the whole last week. Why? Somebody else had taken the ticket and was not able to make much progress with it. So no, I found the issue after a lot of digging. We have a series of request definition wrappers around the Laravel HTTP client, and the Laravel HTTP client had a breaking change from 9.3 to 9.4. And It wasn't part of a PR and doesn't have any comments on it. It just was a push straight to develop that just says fix options. And that change was actually backported to the 8x branch as well. So if there's a new release of the 8x branch for security reasons, it will break HTTP clients for people who are doing what I'm doing, which is annoying.
So what did you have to do to fix it?
So when you call the get function or the get method on the HTTP client from a pending request that you're generating, previously it would just pass any additional query details that you passed in with it. But now it counts the number of arguments that are being used to call the get function and defaulting the response or defaulting the query value to a blank array if it's only one query argument. And
so you were building it up, and then when you call get, it cleared it out?
It dumped the whole thing out, yeah. So if you're calling get and you don't pass in body parameters, but you populate the query option with query parameters, then it dumps the query parameters in favor of the body parameters that are null. So, just a simple little change that completely breaks functionality of the client and was pushed out with no review and no PR at random, and then backported to an older version of Laravel. Little frustrating.
That's why you should use Guzzle, right?
So, well, that was the sort of the end result of the conversation around the whole thing was like the problem that we keep running into with Laravel is that it wants to help us so much that when we use its help, the later versions will just break it. Because like a great idea comes up and says, hey, it's even more helpful to do it this way. And so a breaking change is introduced to something that's totally working fine, doesn't need to be modified, just leave it the fuck alone. And it's like, no, not doing that. I'm going to break it. So, we actually have we now have a backlog ticket that is to stop using the Laravel HTTP client and write our own because it does this stuff, because it just changes randomly and we can't know when to.
Why write your own when there's a highly used library out there, Guzzle?
Well, no. So the Laravel HTTP client is on top of Guzzle. It's a wrapper for Guzzle.
Okay. So, but why are you going to write your own wrapper for it? Why not just use it?
Because a lot of the abstraction that the HTTP client does are very useful, make things a lot more readable in the end code. And we want that kind of functionality. We just don't want it to change at random throughout the year.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. So very, very annoying issues. But, as a result of all this upgrade shenanigans, I've gotten much more comfortable with Xdebug and tracing why everything breaks when I do a minor version update.
If you're not using Xdebug, you have to check it out. You have to use it. I mean, I use it, probably daily at this point. And I have a dedicated production machine set up where I can use Xdebug when necessary. No other traffic goes to it. It's just a single machine setting off to the side where if we need to access it, we can. And it's definitely very helpful. I actually tracked down a bug today doing that, now that you bring that up. We were having what was it? Just somebody was complaining about the way something worked. I probably spent an hour digging into why, and it's just the complication of the product, and it was frustrating. But once I realized what was happening, I'm like, I knew enabling this feature for this type of user was a bad idea, and here's why.
Yeah.
But it took me that long to track it down. Probably would not have been able to track it down without Xdebug very easily.
Yeah, it's super helpful. It's just I wish I didn't have to pull it out all that often for minor updates.
Well, it shouldn't be for minor updates, but in your day-to-day
Couldn't be.
work, it's useful.
How about you, John?
you
What did you
guys-
do this week besides sync?
Well, I want to hear what Eric was about to say.
I was just trying to get something going. You guys are boring the car out of me. I'm struggling to stay awake as it is. Do you guys realize
we're used to boring you?
we are approaching episode 300? This is show
We're still 3
289.
months away. Chill,
Huh?
calm down. We're still 3 months away.
2.5,
Okay.
3 months. Yeah.
Whatever. Just trying to bring some joy to the show. You good? Keep bringing us down. That's fine.
Hey man, I wish I could take credit for bringing us down. I blame Tyler.
Who's Tyler?
Taylor.
Okay. Well, I came home, like I said, literally a couple hours ago, and I'm going through my emails. I really didn't even have time to go through emails while I was out of town. And I had a little email there waiting for me saying I got accepted to the new JetBrains UI beta.
Ooh, really?
Bastard, did you? Have you looked at it, or you just literally just saw it?
I downloaded it. It's interesting how you install it's a plugin, so you have to have the EAP of Storm, which because I used that toolkit, it was just a matter of hitting install for the EAP, and yeah, it's just a plugin. So I didn't think it was going to change that much for me because I already, when I do use PHPStorm, I use it in distraction-free mode. So, basically everything's hidden away and it's just almost like a terminal to me. But I've only touched it for like 15 minutes, so don't hold me to this right now. And I discovered that when I did it, I had to reinstall some my Vim plugins. So that was a thing. But I did touch it. It's nice.
Where do we go with that?
It's nice. I'm actually thinking. So it was in distraction free mode for me by default. I don't know. It must have been picking up a setting somewhere for me. And but I take it out of distraction free, and it's still really clean looking. It's very VS Code. It definitely pulls away that every time I used PHPStorm, and this is not really a knock on PHPStorm. It's not. I didn't think there was much that they could do about it, but I always got like the reminisce of like using Eclipse, like that very bulky Java IDE. And they did a lot of things to try to fix it. That's one of the reasons why I had it in distraction-free mode, because I didn't have to see any of that. It just was all just gone. This, to me, and I don't have a lot of experience with VS Code either, but this to me has a very VS Code kind of new feel to it. But it was an extension that you installed in the existing PHPStorm. So you still have to have the EAP, so that the next version.
I wonder why you need the EAP to make it work if it's just an extension.
I'm sure there's some sort of hooks that they built in there.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to play with it for the next week or so. I've got a lot of coding in my pipeline right now that I've got to start knocking out. So I think I'm going to focus on using it for a while and see how I like it. I also noticed that when I went in to reinstall Idea Vim, which is the Vim plugin for Storm, there were a bunch of new Idea Vim extensions to that extension. So I got more things to play around with. But yeah.
Sounds like you have a
it'll be-
busy week coming up.
I do. I got so much coding to do. I'm playing a little catch up, being out, having some personal turnover. Got a lot of coding we got to get caught up on. So
Yeah, we need to get together tomorrow and discuss that project and get some project planning done around it.
yeah,
Ooh, project management's my favorite.
yeah. Let's talk about
Well-
that for the next 30 minutes.
But we need to get something for the client to see because we promised them we'd have something and haven't gotten there yet.
Not yet, yeah. But I think I can get us there. Not a problem. I always forget how good I am at coding. I do it so rarely now.
Yeah, but the planning is before coding. We need to get the planning done.
No, I don't have time for planning. I got to get stuff coded. I gotta develop stuff.
Well, speaking
Yes,
of
Joe, that's what happened.
speaking of PHP Storm, their new EAP is out, and they've got their enhanced generics support folded into it. And boy, I really want that in VS Code.
I'm not sure I understand. What is that?
They've had generic support for a while.
Yeah, so
what is
they've
the
had-
enhanced.
They've had
These
generics
two.
for like about a year now, but they just introduced the newest update, which supports like integer minimums and maximums and arrays.
We got to be clear though, right? The generics doesn't do anything for the code. I mean, there's
Not during execution time.
it's only if you're using PHP Storm do you have any
Right.
benefit from it.
Yes, but it can be super helpful in,
It just-
in helping with static analysis and making sure that you're doing things the way you're supposed to be using it.
Yeah, it makes the coding process much smoother if you integrate it. But yeah, I'm looking for if anybody knows of a plugin for VS Code that does generics the way PHP Storm does now, because I really want to use it.
You can always come back to PHP Storm.
Let's
used
say
to
is there a
love it.
reason you can't use Storm? You used to use it all the time.
I don't know.
What?
Maybe.
You guys are you're busting
mean,
my one
maybe?
good ball over the fact that I use Vim. You're trying to tell me you can't break away
I
from VS
don't.
Code?
I don't do that. You're confusing me with somebody else.
What is keeping you on VS Code that wouldn't let you use PHP Storm for that one feature? If it was so appealing to you?
Familiarity.
What?
You used Storm for years. There was,
What are you
Yeah, but
talking about?
wasn't good at it.
but you touted it. I mean, you like
Now
praised it
I'm
all the
good
time.
at VS Code.
Well, get good at PHP Storm.
You should really just get good at PHP first time.
I know. It really is a catch-22. Is do I switch IDEs or do I get better at PHP?
Maybe doing the first helps with the second, because now you have access to generics via annotations.
I don't know. It seems like I got better when I switched to VS Code.
That's when you switch jobs. Maybe it was the job switch. Maybe
I
it
don't
wasn't the
know.
IDE.
There's a lot. There's a
Are
lot
you, are
going
you,
on.
are you saying PHP Storm makes you a weaker developer, Tom? Are you saying that? I'm not saying that. Are you saying that?
No, I'm not.
Sounds
saying
like that's what I'm hearing you say.
that. No, I wouldn't say that. So on our Discord, if somebody out there knows of a good generics plugin for VS Code,
Yeah, it's called PHP Storm. Just install that and
that is
you'll be
Discord,
fine.
discord.phpugly.com.
And you can come hang out with us. You could be putting little messages down wherever this is at. Over there. Yeah. right there. You can
Almost broke
type
his
things
wrist
that
trying
make
to
us
point the right direction.
because of the delay. It's like, what's going on here? It's not working.
Oh,
And
faux
you
storm
can
does
even
sound
ask
good.
for more clarification of things on the show. Dmitri has tasked me now, and I knew there were links to this on the internet. I knew I couldn't have been the only one doing it because I had learned it somewhere. But Dmitri had messaged me in Discord about GNU Stow. I talked about it. I don't know if
Yeah.
last week or the week before about how I use that to manage my dot files. Yeah. So he when he messages in Discord, he has this very like subtle tone of "I don't believe you," but if it does work like that, it would be cool. But I don't think it does.
I wouldn't call it
telling
subtle.
You, man. So I
Well,
committed to making a video for him.
Well, he pointed out what the use case that was on their website was, right? Which wasn't just dot files.
Okay.
Wasn't no, I'm asking, wasn't it more about like
I don't know.
application?
I've honestly never looked at their website. I don't know what their stated. I think it's for like custom bin files or something. Let's look it up real fast. GNU Stow. And you gotta spell Stow correctly.
I mean, this is generally how programmers do things, which is learn half of something and assume you know all of it and walk away.
I mean, I know that it does what I needed to do. GNU Stow is a Symlink farm manager, which takes, it actually just says Symlink, so it doesn't really say it's for anything. The approach used for, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure there was an SDPHP presentation that mentioned it, and that was it.
So I'm going to do a video. I have a few links that I've added to the show notes. But this weekend, I will do a video showing everybody exactly how I use Stow. I only know one way of using it. So there are probably like 50 other things you can do with it that I don't use it for. But I will show everybody the one way I know how to use it, and then we'll put this to bed. We'll assume that, as always, I was right, and I'm a cool person or something.
We will agree on half of those things.
Okay.
But we can all agree on.
What's that?
When you're in production, 1,000 things can go wrong. You could deploy a bug in your latest release. Your background jobs can silently fail. Someone could trip over the network, your data, and this all comes back to you. You need to know when bad things happen and be able to respond to them quickly. That's why we built Honeybadger. It's easy to install Honeybadger in your back-end applications and front-end JavaScript. It only takes a few minutes of configuration and you'll have monitoring done. That's because we hook into popular web frameworks, job systems, and the browser, so that when any of them crash, we can automatically let you know. We ping your application from our global fleet of servers to let you know about problems with connectivity, latency, and SSL certificates, and we monitor your recurring jobs to see if any of them stop recurring. When there's a problem, we alert your team using the tools you already use. We can create issues in GitHub, Jira, and other issue trackers, and send notifications via Slack, PagerDuty, or other channels. When you click through, you'll be taken to detailed information on the error. You'll see things like request parameters, headers, user information, and the backtrace. Click on any line of the backtrace to view it in GitHub, Bitbucket, or your local editor. When you fix a problem, just mark it resolved and follow up with the affected user. That's Honeybadger. We're the monitoring tool for web developers who'd rather be, well, developing.
Thanks,
you,
Honeybadger.
Thank you, Honeybadger.
Honeybadger needs a OBS plugin.
Well, so I could be flooded with errors.
Yep. You may want to check this out. Something happened right here.
I know. I'm well aware. Oh, boy. So did you guys catch the Guzzle? Seeing as we were discussing Guzzle so much, the security advisory for Guzzle.
I did not. What is happening?
So if you enabled the cookie middleware in Guzzle, then any site you hit with Guzzle could set a cookie for any domain.
Oof.
Yeah.
So if I hit your website with Guzzle, you could set a cookie for any other domain, and it would only affect me if within that same process, I then use Guzzle to hit that other domain, right?
Well, the Guzzle middleware is designed to handle all sorts of like multi-session, multi-process stuff.
Right.
So it could persist for a good amount of time.
I guess I haven't used it that way. I'm more of a one request, one response type of guy. I know it can do multi-request processing, but between requests, like
have
between
hundreds.
web requests to my website, are you storing the cookies at that point? Like, do you have a cookie jar set up between that?
I did not write the security issue here, the CVE, so I don't know.
No, I'm
But I
asking
will
how
say-
you're using Guzzle.
The way I'm using Guzzle, I could make hundreds of requests within the same session, totally.
Within the same
Within the
session or same request?
within the same request.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot
What
of
is
what
your
we
timeout
do is,
set to?
a lot of what we do is API data aggregation. So we make a lot of calls to external APIs that do all sorts of stuff, asynchronously, synchronously sometimes. But yeah, we could do 100 for like easily.
Wow. I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to think how that works. If it's async, you're probably less affected by this bug because you're going to send out like 50 requests at the same time. Even if one writes a bad cookie to you, it's not going to affect you. And still, they have to know what other sites you're hitting to really affect your specific site, right?
Yes, but still not
It's
great.
It's
And
scary.
I think you
but when you're
can assign a wildcard cookie.
oh really?
I would have to
But
look
it's
more
still-
into the middleware.
But still, when you're assessing the risk of this type of exploit, it's on the lower end, right?
Oh no, this is on the higher end.
I don't know. You might want to read an article in the PHP Architect magazine about assessing risk management.
Yeah, I've never heard of that magazine. Is there like a new issue coming out or?
Coming out, it just came out yesterday, June 1st. It's June. We got the June issue out on the 1st.
That doesn't sound right. That's on time.
Yeah, I know it doesn't sound. What are you talking about? It's like the third month in a row. But there is Security Corner does have a assessing risk when it comes to vulnerabilities. And I like what he does. He's giving a score based on some factors and how likely it is to affect you. And the way I use Guzzle, this thing is less likely to affect me, but the way you use it, it's more likely to affect you. So our risk management for this particular CVE, this particular exploit, is going to be treated differently for the two of us.
I don't disagree. That makes sense.
Yeah. So check out Eric Mann's article in this month's issue. And if you don't have a subscription, please consider checking it out. It's so much good information in there.
How did this month's release go?
I think we're getting better at it. What do you think, Eric?
I think so. The one cool thing we did this month was we released a podcast before we released the magazine. So we got a little got a little hype behind the magazine. Before the magazine was actually released, I got some feedback on that, positive feedback. Everybody seemed to like that, so we're gonna.
The sad part is that was our intention when we first brought it to Oscars 3, 4, 5 years ago, whatever it was. It was like, we want to get this out beforehand. And I understand. I mean, after dealing with the magazine, I understand his perspective of it's really hard to give you all the information prior to the magazine coming out. Like trying to get that last week of the month is crunch time. And there are times where we're struggling, like what's going to be in the magazine, what's not. So I understand where he was coming from. But at the same time, it's like the whole point of the podcast was to get the information out there, get people excited about what was coming out in the next week. So I'm so happy we did that and hope we get to continue that.
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, it's going well. We'll see. We'll see if it continues. If it continues to be a smooth sail, or if the waters get a little choppy again, because things change.
We need writers. If you're willing to write for the magazine, we pay for articles. Reach out to us.
Don't sound desperate.
We're not desperate,
but we are.
It's more of we want. But I try to explain it to my wife. We are not a Forbes magazine. We're not like worried about being like having the perfect writing. We want good writing. We think we do a good job of editing, making things grammatically correct. So if that's your concern, still come to us with your idea. Let us know what you want to write about. We'll let you know if we're interested in it. Really, all we need to know is what you want to write about, when you think you can have it done, and we'll let you know yes or no, and then we'll send you a contract.
I'll tell you what, my article that I'm writing for you guys is
For
still
2026?
still just the title. I don't remember what the title is, so I'd have to look it up.
So I know this is kind of joking, but kind of not. Eric's, who said that? Eric's firstborn, Eric's secondborn, Eric's favorite. You say you don't know programming, which is fine. This isn't necessarily just for programmers, but I use writing either for the magazine or doing presentations as a way to learn something and then building from there. So I can say, oh, I want to learn about this topic. Writing an article will give me a deadline to say, okay, I've got to go read about this topic. I have to learn a little bit to at least share the basic knowledge. We're not looking for experts in that field, just something you're passionate about learning about and want to share your process with. 2 cents.
Speaking of doing things the wrong way, have you guys heard of Bogosort?
No.
Bogosort? No.
Bogosort. There's lots of sorting algorithms out there, and everyone's looking for the most optimized one. But I ran into Bogosort this week, and it makes me want to get into computer science just for the jokes. But Bogosort takes a set and randomizes it and checks if it's sorted in the correct position. And if not, randomizes it again and checks again.
Well, that sounds stupid.
Yes. It's very stupid. There are 5 versions of Bogosort, each trying to be worse than the previous.
What?
But it's like fundamentally, it's the n+1 problem. Like you have no idea.
Sounds like the n times n problem. Not...
It's worst case is actually 0 to 1, where it never sorts correctly. But its best case performance is actually 0n, where it sorts it the first time correctly.
Right. The odds of that happening on a large list are infinitesimally small.
Unless you're using quantum Bogosort.
Huh.
In which a number of universes exists the same size as the set, one of those universes will always sort correctly the first time. And it is the most efficient algorithm on a quantum scale.
Now you're just talking garbage.
It's I am just
I understand the theory there to a point, I think, but
I am
No.
so excited that there's like a mathematical proof that the least efficient and most efficient thing on the quantum scale are the same thing. It's just it's so strikingly dumb. But it really makes me want to look into bad sorting algorithms.
the problem is, I don't even know if you said multiverse at this point, but you've got to get all that information back to this verse. It doesn't work.
Well, quantum computers can kind of do that.
No.
You just need a qubit per permutation of the set.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. He's gone haywire again.
Are we talking about real stuff, or
my-
are we in
No,
fantasy
we're back
world?
to back to microwaves mapping your house. Let's
Oh,
move on.
gotcha.
Which
Elon.
I'll point out, years after I said that, I was proven right.
I'd point out, no, you weren't.
It's because you don't listen to me.
Did you guys see all the heat Elon is taking for
being an asshole?
saying people need to come back to the office? His people need to come back to the office. How do you feel about that? Just curious.
I mean, the dude's an asshole. That's all there is to it.
Not necessarily him, but corporate America in general. If you work somewhere and they said you had to come back to work,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've been out of that realm for so long. I can't imagine going into an office.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it ignores the actual science that's out there, which says that working from home is more efficient and that people perform better working in their own environment.
Some do, some don't. It's not a blanket statement. I know plenty of people that are clamoring to get back to the office and frustrated that they can't go to an office.
Well, they could always go to his offices. He didn't close down during the pandemic.
Oh, that's true, but I'm talking about other places of employment.
Right.
it's-
So I'm going to say something a little controversial here,
For once.
because
No way.
I love poking this bear with you guys, but I think everybody's missing the point of his directive. Because if you read the directive, what he's saying, and everyone that I saw posted, and I'm not trying to be a cheerleader for Elon Musk, although if he does want to buy PHP Architect for $5.6 million, I would be willing to talk to him. But let's just hear me out. He's basically talking about how Tesla is a manufacturing plant. And so the factory workers have to come into the office every day to build the cars. If they need to be there, everybody who supports Tesla and supports that manufacturing process needs to be there, including people like upper management. That's what I read out of that. Every time he says, everybody talks about, oh, Elon Musk is making people come back to the office. I'm like, no, he's saying that you have to be part of that team, and that team has to be at the office. How do you think it would be if the factory workers have to come in, but all the upper management get to work from home and feed their kids breakfast and pick their kids up from work? The animosity would build.
Yeah.
So all he's saying is, hey, these factory workers have to be here. This is our core business. Everybody who has to support this business needs to be in the office.
Yeah,
Eric,
but
you bring up a good point.
he also literally said that the COVID stay-at-home stuff has tricked people into thinking that you don't actually need to work hard. Rude awakening inbound. and he got all of his starter money from a slave-driven emerald mine in South Africa and has purchased the title.
Well,
I'm just saying, as far as people who are going to tell me that I'm being tricked into thinking I don't have to work hard, he is the worst fucking example. Because
so
he
that
firmly
was
believes,
a bad statement.
he
I agree.
firmly believes he has worked hard. And he believes that unions, which are pro workers, are the death of America. And he says, quote, anyone who wishes to do remote work for a minimum, and I mean minimum of 40 hours per week, or depart Tesla. So he's not only saying like come into the office, but he's saying 40 hours a week is the minimum, the absolute minimum you should work. And
that's the truth. In another statement, he says that the people on the line work 40 hours a week. So
which is also
you,
proven to
you
be
as a manager,
less
you as a
efficient.
manager, your minimum work week needs to be 40 hours a week.
Which is also proven to be less efficient. It's been scientifically
So
proven.
now that's I'm fine with that, but 95% of the companies out there don't practice anything but the 40-hour work week. So we can spiral
absolutely.
down this hole, but calling him out for saying that stuff when I feel like all he's trying to do is even the playing field. And I understand. I understand if you're
I understand.
if you're
No, I understand
manager,
he's saying even the playing field. I'm saying, as the richest person who has ever lived in history, ever, he should shut the fuck up. Because he doesn't know a thing about hard work, and he ignores all of the scientific evidence in favor of what he believes is the optimal work week, the optimal number of hours, and the way people should live their lives.
So the hard part is you're focusing on the person. Eric's focusing on the philosophy. Like Eric, I understand where Eric's coming from. If I had a business where I had to have people in the office or in the manufacturing plant to build something, you need a support team around them, and that animosity.
I absolutely agree with that.
But you're making it about Elon, and that's where the problem is.
No, I'm saying,
I understand.
If the
Elon
factory has managers, of course they have to have in-person interactions with the people who are doing the factory floor work. He's talking about the people who are doing accounting, or the people who are doing sales, or the people who are doing marketing, which those people don't have any tie or relationship to that. They're already living.
You're missing the point, though. You're missing
okay,
the
so
point.
Then put him in a factory too.
That's what he's saying. That's where the office is.
He's saying live in the glass tower and make twice the money of the factory worker.
He very clearly says that's the office is where the workers are.
But the people in offices don't have to be there.
To John's, I appreciate John's, bringing this up, but you're so hung up on not liking the guy that you're not listening to the message, and that's part of the message. Is working from home better? Yeah, in some cases it is, but it doesn't work for everybody, and it can build up animosity.
Company. And I totally agree with that. But the people who are working in marketing should not be forced to do 40 hours in an office or be fired.
You accept certain responsibilities when you take a position. And if that company's culture is to work in marketing, you have to be here, then you got to be there. I mean, I don't understand how else to say it.
No, I don't disagree with that. I think it's just a stupid move because that means the company culture is fundamentally flawed.
You can't say it's stupid because when's the last time you've worked in an office? And John's willing to admit this as well. He doesn't work in an office at all. You don't understand the difference in dynamics when you work at an office. Now, I'm not saying it's better or worse, but for you. No,
It
that's
was
not always true.
7-8 years ago.
But
You worked in an office?
Yeah.
It's still the point of, from a management perspective, when you have employees that have to be in the office and then you have other employees that don't have to be, that can build a rift within your company.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
And I think that
But-
that might be all that's trying to, it's not just Elon. Other business people are dealing with the same thing. Like, how do we deal with the people that have to be here and the other people that could work from home and probably
Sure.
be as productive, if not more?
But again,
But we're trying to build this company culture and have something there.
but
And there's the other side of that coin. And I brought this up when we had our offices for Diego Dev. Now, again, completely voluntarily for people to come in. No, we had no hard. Occasionally, we'd have a meeting where we asked everybody to show up, but that was it. Nobody had to be there like a certain amount of time or anything. I was really the only one that went in pretty much every day. And the other side of that coin was, for me, it was good because I have a very bad habit of not stopping work when I should, and working into the night and continuing. And I do that when my office is at my house. And so it was very nice for me to have that separation of, okay, I'm at the office now, I can work. And when I got home, I could unplug a little bit. I struggle a lot with unplugging. And it's it's been a problem in the past. I think I've gotten better at it, but it's hard for me to really say. But I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not saying, I guess what I am saying is it's not a one size fits all. And
no, and I'm not saying that either.
But you are.
No. What I'm saying,
Yeah, you are.
no, absolutely not. What I'm saying is that Elon Musk is a total clown. Who
Again, you're making it
listen.
personal. You're making it personal again. I can't take you seriously.
I know
when you
but
do that.
Just let me finish. He's a total clown who spouts terrible business advice as absolute black or white truths to people who are starting their businesses or running their businesses.
But
he gets on the cover.
That's not him.
He gets on the cover of Forbes. Sure, but
you're saying this like he's not the richest man in the world. Like, that didn't work for him. He's
no.
spouting what worked for
his
him.
turn towards public figure was way after he started becoming filthy fucking rich.
Yeah, because he realized this stuff was working. I don't understand.
But his turn as a public figure has been widely negative. Like,
rich people in general give bad business advice because they say what worked for them. So stop saying it's Elon Musk. It's not Elon Musk.
Well,
and
Elon
we're trying
Musk,
to make it not him.
I'm saying Elon Musk, who represents so much of the tech industry conversation right now, is constantly wrong and then gets published as a fucking savior for the tech industry when that's not at all what he does. He does not establish good management practices, or probably any management practices. He buys companies that are going to be successful and has been very lucky and good about it. But he's not an HR. He's not. And yeah, absolutely, there are companies where working in the office has to be done that way. But there are a lot of companies where remote is working much better, more efficiently. Less hours are working much better and more efficiently. But he comes out and says, if you don't do it my way, you're an idiot. If you don't do it my way, you're fired. And it's the same like boisterous self-importance bullshit that gets people fired from jobs where
you're missing
elevate
so much of this. You want this, everybody has an equal voice. When it's your company, nobody has an equal voice. You know, the owner.
I got a podcast though. He doesn't have a fucking podcast.
I mean, that's the other. That's the thing about this is, like, you keep talking like he should be taking everybody's feelings in consideration, and that's not how business works.
No, I to be clear, I keep talking like he is he is the absolute Jesus
You
Christ of
keep
capitalism.
making it about Elon, and I
is about
can't.
him.
No,
That's why I brought it up in the first
that's not
place.
What the conversation. You did not. I brought it up.
Huge thank you to all our Patreons. Look at that beautifully animated background. Pretty sure I created this background early this morning.
I have no idea what that is. I typed in June. It came out. It looks like a bumblebee. Oh, it's a June bug. Oh, there you go. That makes more sense.
They are a pestilence.
Yeah. Did it live. We have a new Patreon as well.
Riri?
No. Is it Riri? Riri, are you the new Patreon?
Well, that's what's on there.
Gosh. Maybe I messed up.
Recent.
Well, thank you to all of our Patreons, not just Riri.
Ed G, who I'm hoping isn't Ed Gain.
No, it's not Riri. Why is the new Patreon not there? It is Little Hermit. Little Hermit is our new Patreon. And I know I put that name on there. Shoot. All right, I'm sorry, Little Hermit. You'll be on next week's show, I promise. All right. There you go. That's what happens if you try to do things live during the show.
We'll like play the ads.
Basic stuff.
Really super simple stuff that should just work but doesn't. I tell you, one of these days,
rebuild their system like 6 months ago.
One of these days, I'm gonna do it.
And you think that's going to solve that issue?
One of these days.
I tell you what, if you didn't work from home, you'd probably have it done by now because you'd be at the office and people will be watching you get shit done.
That's the opposite of how that works. People watching me get shit done is the last thing I want. Have you guys
go ahead
seen Top Gun Maverick?
No.
All right. So we're gonna have to have a conversation about this movie, spoiling quite a bit of it.
Okay. Why?
So you guys are gonna have to see it pretty soon.
How?
Why?
At the theater.
Then you have to go to a theater.
It's great.
You have to go to a theater.
Yeah, well, we don't have the COVID San Diego breakout. You guys do. We get to go to theaters.
Actually, we're talking about going to the theater for the first time, and we're going to go see the Marvel movie. What is it? Whatever's out now.
Doctor Strange?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, do Top Gun instead. That's my review of Doctor Strange is watch Top Gun instead. Because I saw both in theaters and Top Gun. Boy, it's Top Gun.
It's very Top Gunny.
I'm not sure what conversation we're having here.
It's just super Top Gun. Pop culture.
Oh, but Tom Cruise is an asshole.
Yeah, seriously.
I know. How could you like that guy or any movie he's in?
Same way I can like Teslas without liking Elon Musk. Separate the man from the work.
That's not the way that works. Because you've been
wait.
crapping on Tesla for years.
Say that again, Tom. What?
I don't think that sounds right. That doesn't sound like me. All right, fine.
Oh my goodness.
Go see the latest Amber Heard movie then. Wait, don't tell me. Did that go badly?
Yes.
I heard. Yeah, I heard it. I heard everybody won and nobody won.
Oh no, the pop news media won quite a bit. It was a mess. Two disturbed people fighting out in court in front of the entire world about who was more disturbed and lied the most. She did.
And She lied the most.
Yeah, I mean that was the result. She lied the most.
Right.
It's-
Right. I was gonna say he won, but not.
Well, turns
very
out
well.
putting two actors on the stand against each other is a really excellent measure of which one's the better actor, because she was a terrible actress and he was like pointing at the camera and winking the whole time. It was embarrassing.
Oh, was she an actress?
Yeah,
I
she
did
was in Aquaman.
There was a movie Aquaman.
Yeah, he's the guy who talks to fish.
Oh,
Still better than
haven't
Namor.
seen that one. Haven't seen that one. All right. Are we done with this one? We wrapping it up?
Are we
We need
done?
to wrap this one up.
I don't know. What haven't I bashed on? You want to hear some good news? I'm going to end this with some good news.
I seriously doubt that, but sure, try.
Some good news. In California, bees are officially a type of fish.
What?
Shut up.
What?
Link in the Trello board.
Doesn't make
Stop
it
it.
fact. California court rules that bees are a type of fish in
Bees
order
are
to
a type of fish.
protect them under the state's Endangered Species Act.
Yeah, so it turns out that like insects can't be covered by Endangered Species Act. So the next closest thing that bees could be categorized as is fish. So a California court ruled.
I see what you did. I
bees
see
are
what you
fish.
did there. You're tying it all back into XD bug. Bees, bug, XD bug. That was good, Tom.
Code smells, fish. 2-minute abs.
What? Wait, what? All right.
Yes.
done?
So CESA's Fish and Game Code now defines bees as fish, so we can save the bees, which we need to do because food. Not just vegan foods, but like all the foods. So that's my good news. Bees are now fish.
Okay, that's it. Episode 289 is in the book. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom. Keep it ugly.
I'm going to sleep. I'm going to bed.
Y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles,
aren't
which
dancing.
cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause
Dance.
the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not
busy uploading a
professional,
video to
but I'm
YouTube.
about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting. I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun.
Thank you, Caleb.
And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
Tom. Stop the feedback, Tom. feedback. Kayla, why are you saying good night? Good night.
What time is it in Canada? I don't even know.
It's the same, they're in the same time zone.
As us, not as you.
Well, Kaylin is in our time zone, yeah.
I shared my landing video with Patreon.
Oh,
I didn't see that.
An
I'm going
actual
over to
Patreon
I
perk.
literally just finished it. Just posted it.
I am not a member and thus can't view the video.
So my wife and kids came out to surprise me yesterday while I was flying, and I just landed my first landing of yesterday, and I saw them just before hiking back up for my second launch. So they missed my landing. Hiked up. They missed
So you
me
were
flying, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, there he is," and took video of my landing.
you were
Oh,
hiking
so
up,
this isn't
saw
off
your
the
family and
in La
jumped off the-
Jolla.
No, this is that little black right by my house.
So this was always
only-
the goal, was to jump off of closer cliffs.
Yeah. Well, this isn't a cliff. This is a little tiny mountain.
I am going to bed, Kaylin. I'm exhausted. I got to edit the podcast first.
Yeah. So at the beginning of this video, I'm trying to see where. Yeah, you can see another glider up to the right. So we launched from up there, and then I kind of floated back and forth, and then ended up landing.
So how do you spot these hot air columns? Because in Zelda, there's like an animation where it swirls upward.
That's the problem, is I don't know because I'm not good. The people that launched, there's a guy that launched like a minute before me, maybe a couple minutes before me, because I had to get set up. He was up for a long time and ended up landing back up top because, well, he's been flying forever. His name's Dave, and he does the Raptor Birds of Prey experience at the Torrey Pines Glider Port. So you can go down there and, meet the birds and watch them do some sort of demonstration. Or you can pay to go up on a glider with him and fly with the birds, which is kind of cool. But he showed up yesterday, launches.
Seems like
and
abusing the system.
And was up for a long time. Meanwhile, I launched right after him, can't find any lift. And mostly it's because I don't know, one, what I'm looking for, and being more timid, I want to make sure I'm close to the landing zone. So I'm going to err on the side of landing safely every time.
Well, also, wouldn't the action for catching a hot air draft be the same as braking?
Yeah, but you got to know you're in that lift before you do that. So you want to fly.
That's what I'm saying. So
as
you're not, if you're not sure about if you're in a hot air draft, you don't want to brake. Yeah.
Right. Too much. So you want to fly slow and lift so that you can stay in there longer and turn within it.
Hey, Kaylin, I can go Zelda references all day. I could turn this whole conversation into a real nightmare. Thinking about getting that too, the tattoo that's 24 hours before, what is it, 24 hours before the end?
Fun stuff. I had a guy that was in my class show up. His glider is still being repaired, so he wasn't able to fly, but he came up and took video. And I'm not sharing that because it was of my launch, and it was so embarrassing.
Did you poop yourself?
No, I'm not in the right posture. So when on my first launch yesterday, I brought the glider up above my head and literally was just picked up and kind of just went. Like, I'm already off the ground. There's nothing I can do. Just kind of float away. The one he took a video of, I get the glider above my head and I do this little like trundle kind of towards, and before I finally get in the semi-right posture to kind of charge, and I don't have enough speed and I barely got over these bushes. It's kind of funny.
That sounds embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. I'll share with you guys because I'm a nice guy, though. If I can find it again.
Hey, I don't think I'm getting titles. Shot your foot? Shot your Thomas? Shoot what? Shoot your Thomas?
Don't
That's
shoot
not for
me.
The wrong kind of shots? Tom really pissed someone off? That's not this week, is it?
No, that's
Can't be
last week. That's 2 weeks ago when I got shot at.
Right, May 12th. There's something wrong with my bot. It's not writing title suggestions. What happened here? Oh, no. I know what the problem is. Yep, I know what the problem is. Part of my rebuild is the problem, but we got this. Hotbox.
Here, I'll share this in Discord because I'm a nice guy. I'm only in the 18 to basically 33-second portion of this video.
I love the Discord. It's like, are you sure you trust YouTube? I'm like, dude, your Discord, don't worry. Oh yeah, that's definitely not you. What color is your sail?
Mine? It's the very first one that's launching. It's red, yellow, and purple. Or blue. I always get it confused. Red, yellow, and blue.
Oh yeah, that is embarrassing.
It is pretty embarrassing. I don't get my chest down low enough.
I like that you have to do the Naruto run to take off, though.
The what?
The Naruto with your hands behind your back like that.
Mm-hmm.
Duck down real low.
It's
yeah, that's
supposed to get lower.
That second guy, like he pulls his chute, spins around and like hops up in the air, and now he's flying. And you go halfway down the hill.
Well, it all depends on when you launch and the cycle that you get. If you look at the next guy at like 110, he does a much better job.
Dude, that's fully the Naruto run. That's hilarious. So you're tracking all of this with that special app you bought for your phone.
Yep. And the guy at the 2-minute mark is a much better pilot in general. He's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, he's just standing there with his chute like fully open, just hanging out.
Yep. And then the guy after him is the newest of all of us, but he's a skydive instructor.
Mm-hmm. That's funny because I saw these guys as a kid and I thought they were so cool. Now I know better. Wind nerds. That's what I'm going to call you from now on.
I'll take it.
You're a wind nerd. So what's the next qualifying certification you get after this?
So after this will be a P3. So I'm going to start that end of summer. And all it does is more flights, just more experience. And then part of the training is doing things like getting up high and then taking collapses on purpose to know what they feel like. Just more advanced maneuvers. It is what I truly want out of it is just be able to fly this site better because it's so close to my house. Just being able to go catch a thermal, get up high. Like I said, the guy that launched first went up to 2,000 feet and made a run for it.
Yeah, I'll buy a drone.
The ceiling at this site is 3,000. So you get up near 3,000, then you can start doing like cross countries and flying from here to other locations.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Yep.
What about airplanes?
Well, you stay in the proper airspace and you should be good to go.
What if they don't?
There's 2 flights to the east, so you can fly from here to Iron Mountain. Or if you wanted to go west, you could go towards Torrey Pines, but nobody's made it there yet. I think the record so far is the 56 and 5.
Wait, nobody's made it there yet. What happened to them?
No, you just land somewhere.
Land at Walmart.
You just find a spot and you land. You can land anywhere. It's considered an emergency landing. So you're legally allowed to land anywhere.
Well, that seems convenient.
Yep.
I feel like I could just show up on somebody's balcony and they'd be like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, no, it's okay. I got a parachute. It's cool. There's an emergency peeping. Landing.
Yep.
Like what you've done with the place, though.
Next time, can you put some clothes on before I land, so I don't get in trouble?
Take them off. I don't care. Why would I get in trouble? She's the naked one.
If you could land on a balcony, I'd be super impressed.
Well, you've seen that video, the parachutist who landed on a Rio de Janeiro hotel roof, and the security
landing on a roof is one thing.
No,
Yeah.
The security guards grabbed him and he jumped off the fucking roof.
He's a base jumper. Yeah, I saw that.
Base jumping is weird. I saw a base jumping video where the dude jumped 30 feet.
So,
and I was like,
the
is that a huge accomplishment? 30, like, that's a survivable distance.
That's great. Actually, that's 30 feet, not 30 meters.
30 feet.
And his chute opened?
Yeah.
So the story around here is there was a father-daughter couple in the Torrey Pines paragliding class. Not couple. A couple of people in the class to get their paragliding license, but he's a base jumper. Dumbass went up, base jumped, died. So left wife and kids, fatherless, and she's taking these paragliding classes, and mom's like, "No, you're not."
Oh yeah, just try to tell a daughter you're not allowed to do something. Yeah. Works really well.
I mean, that only lasted for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, mom wanted to do paragliding too.
I don't understand
because
this. I have
is not base jumping. Base jumping is like much more dangerous.
I have a friend who had 2 uncles die in separate plane crashes where they were the pilots. And the first thing he did when he turned 21 was go for his pilot's license. And it's like, of all of the friends of our whole friend group, no one wanted their fucking pilot's license except for him. Why? It's this
overcoming that fear.
That's not overcoming fear. That's taunting death. That's a totally different class of behavior.
It depends on like what did they do like what happened in that crash? Was it a bad did something happen with the aircraft itself? Was it bad decision making?
I believe that in both cases it was one of those cheap planes with no black boxes, so it's just not known.
Yeah, just like anything, it's easy to make a bad decision when you're piloting an aircraft.
Which is why I don't pilot aircraft. I make bad enough decisions on the ground. I've stubbed my toe twice this week. Could you imagine if I were a pilot? I can't control basic human motor functions.
My problem is I have no freaking respect for my body. My quads have been killing me for weeks now, but it doesn't stop me from going running or hiking to fly or whatever. It's like, no, instead I'll just buy compression sleeves and try and make it better.
Oh, my
Which I just
wife's
put
on
on
that
today.
track too. Every day her back hurts, her feet hurt. Well, what are you doing later today? Oh, I'm running for 2 miles with the dog, and then we're gonna wrestle in the mud. What the fuck are you doing? Have a day to sleep. Like, well, the dog doesn't really like that. Like, the dog ain't paying the medical bills.
But that's awesome that she's running.
Yeah, it's great.
You should go with her.
Wow.
I mean, I made that mistake not mistake.
No, that is an enormous mistake.
On this past Friday. I was like, hey hon, what are you doing today? I'm thinking, let's go get brunch or something. No, she's going for a run. Like, all right, I'll go with you. Went for a 3-mile run, and I don't run that often. I was like, oh, this is killing me.
See, I love that. The idea that you go from like, hey, honey, what are you thinking? Day drinking? And she's like, running. And you're like, all right, that's... I was thinking that too. I was thinking the exact same thing. Let's go running instead of day drinking.
Mimosa or run?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm thinking about taking a nap at 11. I don't know. You want to be in a different county at 11 on foot.
Yep.
Speaking of your wife, I have been holding back asking you about this. What did your wife
tell your wife we're talking about her running and how awesome that is.
Oh, she heard. That's why she's here.
That's why I'm here.
Oh.
What did your wife have to say about aphantasia?
So she was able to see a star in her mind, and I thought she was crazy.
Has it been driving you nuts at all?
Yes, it has been, and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Isn't that exactly what I said would happen, and you said no, it wouldn't?
No, I did not say no, it wouldn't. And yes, it is driving me nuts, and I still think everyone else is crazy.
You still think everyone else is lying. Yeah. It's fucking weird,
again.
Isn't it?
I'm trying again. It's not an optical thing. You can imagine what a red star looks like. You just can't see a red star.
Except for the part where I asked Eric to imagine an elephant in the field, and he made up a field.
I can make up a field. I can make up a field. Look, there's grasses swaying. I see some trees behind the elephant. I don't see it.
What kind of trees?
I can imagine
what kind of trees?
They're palm trees, of course.
Did you have that in your mind beforehand, or
no?
As soon as I asked you, yeah. See, it's great because you can just say there's trees, but you're not actually seeing a tree. You don't know what tree it is until I ask you what tree it is, and then you have to make up what tree it is.
But I think that's true with everybody.
But it's not. It's crazy. I'm sorry to like. This is why every time someone fails that test, I look at them and I say, I have bad news for you, because it drives people crazy for a while.
It drove me nuts.
Well, yeah, Becky can see just fine. Well,
no, I can't.
You're like
I thought it was fine, and it drove me nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, my imagination is great, and then you told me, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, Becky, like the first time it happened, like the first time I brought it up, Becky didn't really try and just told me I was being dumb and possibly a little autistic. And well, now Eric laughs. But I brought it up recently, and she was like, "What?"
No, I can't visualize anything. But I can imagine
But-
it. I know
Right.
what they
That's
look like.
that's all I ever thought it was
Sorry, I'm
imagining it.
invading your podcast.
No.
This is the
We're
end of
done.
the
We've
world.
we've
Oh.
wrapped up.
Apparently, you're not in our Discord. My kids hijack the podcast every show, every week.
Oh yeah,
so you're
they've
fine.
hijacked the Discord fully. She can't hear it. Here you go.
Is that going to do anything different? No.
Synesthesia is Synesthesia is
What is that?
similar.
What is synesthesia?
Synesthesia is when the neurons connect the wrong sensations to each other.
Okay.
So you hear music and you feel it or you smell it.
Okay, yeah, now that.
But mostly people see sound as different colors.
I know that.
But that's also closely related to epilepsy. So be careful about that.
No, I know that.
Aphantasia is not closely related to epilepsy.
All right, I'm going back to my videos, watching. Fine.
We're going to take off.
Eric, are you home or somewhere else?
He's home.
You hear me? I'm home.
He's home.
Oh, okay.
Despite his
Yeah, you don't
strict
look like you're
adherence to working from an office being the more productive method, he is working from home. I thought you froze for a second.
No, I just stopped caring about
I
you.
know. I saw you. I said either he froze or he just heard me talking shit and gave up.
I'm a little tipsy. Sorry.
Me too. And I'm going to take that tipsy and go play some Rocket League.
I might do that. Might do some Stranger Things. I'm not sure yet.
Can you put them on the speakers?
No, because then it'll feed back into
Oh,
the.
yeah. Hi, guys.
All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Uh, Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's a wonderful episode. We couldn't do it without you guys
Thanks,
in
guys.
Discord.